All right. Good morning. This None of this is gonna be about Bitcoin. Nope. 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 None of this is gonna be about Bitcoin. All right. So, well, hold on. So in my life, sometimes people come to me with the exact same stupid question. Um, and tonight it was, what about going to the Ukraine? Uh, and this is just my opinion. Um, I'm pulling from some background here as a veteran who served in a war. Um, so here, let's go back and let's see. I'm trying to pull up my web browser. Do, 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 do. All right, let's see. There we are. What we have here is we have volunteers for Ukraine, right? And this popped up, and I didn't see this. This was shown to me by someone, and then right before I'm gonna go to bed, I get a message from somebody else. Now, and the question is, yeah, should we go? Should we go? Hey, Mercy Beat, are you interested in going? Actually, no, I'm not. Um, so on Reddit, volunteers for Ukraine, there's a thread, instructions for helping the Ukrainian army. I suggest that everybody just scroll straight down to the bottom here and look at where they can donate to the army or or any of the other anything else, right? Um, oh, but okay, so it's pretty simple. You just apply to the embassy. They want you to have your documents. They want you to have an ID. They want you to have a passport. They want you to have documents confirming military service or law enforcement agencies and participation in combat. Now, that's important, right? I, it's going to be so hectic over there if this continues. They're having peace talks today. Let's hope that those are productive. But you don't need to be going into anything like this. So when you join the military, one, you should be young because it's a young man's game. But when you join the military, you got like 9 weeks, sometimes 10, because you're in there on a floating week before you join your actual basic training. So, you know, you're in there for 9 weeks, you're doing push-ups, you're getting yelled at, you don't know where you're going half the time because they're just telling you to get in a line. You're learning all the basic skills that you need to survive when there's bullets flying above your head. After basic training, then you go get your, it's like college, only it's in 9 to 16 weeks, and they yell at you the whole time and they don't let you sleep, but you usually get the weekends off. And I would say that's like the bare minimum. If you haven't been through that, you shouldn't even be thinking of it. Now, luckily, the second conversation, both these conversations took place in Discord, which, Discord is like a veteran's paradise. But you see, if you haven't been kind of in the war, right, you get this feeling like, oh, I wish I was in the war, if that makes sense. Like a lot of guys served, they didn't see combat. A lot of guys served in the last 20 years who never went to Iraq or Iran, believe it or not. And this is their opportunity for Valhalla, right? Um, and that's understandable. Maybe go. If you don't have ties, if you don't have responsibilities, but maybe go. If you've got any type of children, it's a bad move. So the Ukraine needs people who can form cohesion quickly and can work in an environment that is chaotic as fuck. Every time you turn around, there's something chaotic and crazy going on, and can still get to where they need to be and do what they need to do. So, if you're a truck driver, and they need truck drivers too, unless you have military service, you just need to forget it, right? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of truck drivers that can do it, but to be honest with you, it's going to be crazy. There's a lot of military truck drivers. Like, if you're a military truck driver and you don't have any ties, do it, right? Go over there. And don't expect anybody to pay for you, though. Don't expect anybody to pay for you, right? Um, that's going to be important because everything is about to get scarce in that region. Petrol and food, um, everything. Everything is about to get scarce. Make sure that you have your own currency, your own money supply. Because if you leave this morning and you get to Poland 26 hours from now and the peace talks were successful, you may have to vacation in Poland or rebuild in the Ukraine. But either way, I wouldn't be expecting there's a lot of talk about getting paid, and I wouldn't count on that for one. Let's see what else they got in here. Yeah, arrive at the embassy with your documents. So your DD-214, that shows them if you're a combat veteran, that shows them what conflicts you are in because you get a ribbon for that shit, right? So they can see how many conflicts you were in. They can see what awards what you were awarded. That's what they're talking about is your DD-214, your military service record. What tells them what you did and shit like that. I have no idea about law enforcement. Law enforcement is probably to keep other people in line, to be honest with you. Not the Ukrainians, not the Russians, but everybody else. Do. Yeah, so if you're doing this for a territorial defense of armed forces of Ukraine service ribbon. You'll you'll get a ribbon and it will be unique as fuck, right? If you're one of those Valhalla guys, man, that don't have any ties or uh, military service. Yep, yep, yep. So they're saying if you're in the military, which I don't blame them, suit up. All that shit you got in the closet that you haven't put on since you got out, suit the fuck up. If you're in the United States military, I would take those fucking patches off except for your last name. I'd take off everything. I'd take off rank. I wouldn't show up in that uniform. If I was like some real gung-ho guy, mid-30s, served but didn't actually see combat, was ready to go, and I love you, brother. Your service is just as valid as anybody else's. But if I were you and I was pulling that trigger, I wouldn't take shit, man. I'd take a fucking Adidas, I'd go and I'd buy an Adidas tracksuit and some Adidas sneakers, man. Or even better, if you're a true brother, bust out the shorts and the Hawaiian t-shirt and put on some long johns underneath and go represent. But holy cow. Yeah, if you're just some civilian really good with a gun, I don't think this is for you. Um, I think it's a bad idea. Not saying it can't be done. I have a feeling I have a feeling this is gonna be. So there's a I don't know the guy's name. It's Lord Goofy fuck something, and this guy likes to go into hot zones and vacation. Fairly funny, but I have a feeling that he's gonna have some copycats. There's gonna be some looky-loos and sightseers, and that's what the police would definitely be there for, is to take care of the nutty types running around looking for stray dogs. Oh my God, I saw GoFundMe's for this stuff. Listen, if you're running a don't give money to people with GoFundMe's to go to the Ukraine right now. I saw GoFundMe. Don't look this up either. Hopefully they take it down or something because it looked kind of shady to me, but the GoFundMe was for stray dogs. This woman wanted to go to the Ukraine, wanted to go to Kiev so that she could rescue stray dogs. Where is she going to take these stray dogs? Is she going to go to Poland with 40 dogs in the back of a bus? I have no idea what's going on here. I have no idea what people are thinking. But this is what happens. The internet and easy mobility and oh my God. Don't give GoFundMe's to soft people, that's for sure. And God, there's so many people out there that pretend to be in the military and hardcore. I'm not hardcore. I'm an old man. I could not carry a gun. To be honest with you, I couldn't do it. I couldn't carry a gun into combat. I couldn't. I couldn't walk 5 miles without stopping. I would hinder everyone around me. I couldn't drive trucks, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys realize how hard it is to drive those old ass trucks. Um, Military trucks are hard on you. They're hard on the back. I know. I did like almost 100,000 miles or more than 100,000 miles. Um, You know, boy oh boy, that's rough. And going into a hot zone that's cold, it's winter. I mean, is spring around the corner? I have no idea anymore. But talk about a harsh environment. Just you're not ready. Just boy oh boy. And who knows? Who knows? But there are people ready to go. Um, I think it's a big mistake. I think it's a great idea, but if you're not trained and you're not physically fit, you have no business walking into that zone. That's the important thing to remember. You're not some crusader, right? If you're I mean, just nuttiness. This started on a different board. I actually saw this happen on a different board, a veterans board that I'm a member of, but I'm not going to bring up because it's under my name. But uh, but yeah, they're ready. There's let me put it this way. Let me give you some numbers so that you can get some perspective. In the last 20 years, the United States has produced 12 mil. This is the last 20 years. This is not even me. Like I was 30 years ago. This is 20 in the last 20 years. The United States has created 12 million veterans. These aren't active service guys, these are veterans. There are 12 million veterans. What's 1% of 12 million? I have no idea. I'm amazed at 12 million, to be honest with you. But if 1% of 12 million went over there, oh my God, I just don't even know. What would that be? That'd be like thousands, thousands and thousands of combat ready fighters going in. I don't think the KGB, I don't think Russian intelligence, I don't think they saw that coming. To be honest with you, an influx of foreign fighters into the Ukraine. And what's even funnier is, some of the Russian fighters, from my understanding, these are some of the same kind of jokers that were being used in Syria. We already have, and I knew this like a couple days ago, right? We already have like retired special operations guys who just float around the world, going from place to place, right? I can't believe this. I was talking to a friend who got me talking to another guy, and that guy was telling me, "Oh, you have that skill?" And this wasn't even a military skill. This was a civilian job. And he's like, well, what do you think about like the border of Belarus, like Poland and the border of Belarus? And I'm like, I've never been to Poland or Belarus. That would be awesome. Well, now look where we are, like 3 months later. Um, so there's like special operation forces guys all around that area, civilian contractors that were and guys that are bored, that are in between civilian contracting jobs, they're real hardcore. They're not soft. They haven't been sitting behind a desk for 10 years, right? I mean, they've been out there living the life, but there's anyway, anyway, no. It's funny as fuck though to me that people think this would be a good idea. People think this would be a good idea. So, yeah. What's the final thing here? Yeah, go in an organized manner. No criminals. If you're a criminal, don't go over there and represent the criminals. But I just find it amazing, right? I mean, only Europe. Only Europe, right? Just flooding in. Guys, special forces from Germany are ex-special forces. I should say a lot of, they're all ex-special forces, but I know that there's ex-special forces from Germany. There's ex-special forces from Canada that are already in that country. They're doing shit like spotting tanks for Russians, or they're, doing salute reports and stuff like that. A salute report is um, shit. Size, location, salute. Size, activity, location, unit, and equipment. And that's what a salute report is. But they're already sending in salute reports to the Ukrainian over tight encrypted channels. The Russians are all communicating over open band. There, if you haven't known this, you can go and listen to I don't speak Russian, so there's no point in listening, but you can listen to a lot of their radio chatter. It's all being picked up and relayed onto the internet for people to translate and stuff. I don't think Putin realized what was going on. He must have assumed that half the country, half of the Ukraine would be on his side. And that's not what's happening. People are people are going to the Ukraine and they're going. They're going. They're on their way. All, you have a whole bunch of people in Europe that are, yeah. It's it's bad, but definitely definitely this is a small percentage of people that should be going. You don't want to be the drag. You don't want to be the anchor in this situation, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you can't panic. If you don't know where you are, you've got to know how to get back to the right camp. I mean, if you don't speak the language, if you've never served in the military and you don't speak the language, it's nope, 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 nope. So hopefully that helps. It's a very small percentage of people. I actually talked to a guy who tonight in Discord, the old disabled guys, we'd go if we could, but we're kind of realistic. We kind of remembered what we had to go through, and if we can't physically do it, we're not physically doing it. But um, they do. They need military truck drivers. They need a lot of stuff. They need combat support, but they need people that know what they're doing. And it's literally, if you have a passport sitting somewhere next to your DD-214 and your driver's license, get to Poland, right? It's real easy in Europe to move around. First, you just get to Poland. From the airport, you'll be able to find your way to the train. Take the train as close to the border as possible. Once you get to that town, take a taxi to the border. Cross the border, take a taxi to the next train station, and I bet you $1 at that train station there'll be signs on where you're supposed to go and sign up. But have your paperwork in order. This is saying send your shit to the embassy first, but you could probably apply at the embassy in Poland too. But have your shit in order. All right, dumb topic, right? Holy cow! It's like if you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have never thought this would even be an opportunity. If you had asked me 5 years ago, I might have gone. You never know. Well, I wouldn't have gone because I have kids, but yeah. All right. Well, nothing to do with Bitcoin, but you can donate crypto to the Ukrainian army. So end on a crypto note. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I will bring up Bitcoin when I think it's important.